While saving money just to save is better than not saving any money at all, you could be missing out on opportunities to maximize your saving efforts. When it comes to saving money, you'll want to implement a strategy that sets you up for success. You may already have that strategy, or it may need to be tweaked. In this episode, I'm sharing 5 ways you can take your saving strategy up a notch and guarantee yourself the best results with your money saving efforts. Hey there, I'm Rhea Reeves, and over a decade ago, I turned my life around through budgeting. I went from being an overspender deep in credit card debt to being the founder and full-time money coach of City Girl Savings. Now, I help women work towards their dream life and tap into their financial power one budget at a time. I fully believe you can live a life you love with a budget, and I'm living proof. The weekly City Girl Savings podcast focuses on the intersection of money and the City Girl lifestyle. Join me every week along with some special guests as I share my experiences, advice, and guidance on navigating life and money as an experience-loving millennial. I don't know about you, but when I save money, I want to make sure that I am maximizing my efforts 100%. And I feel like each of the ways I'm going to share with you to take your strategy up a notch when it comes to saving has made a huge difference for me. And I have no doubt it can do the same for you. So the first strategy to help take your saving strategy up a level is to make sure your savings goals excite you. I feel like this is probably obvious, but it deserves to be said. When you have savings goals that excite you, that get you up in the morning, that make you want to go work, want to go make money, want to control your spending, you are more encouraged and motivated to reach those goals. When you're saving just to save, meaning you don't really have a purpose for your savings, it can be very tempting to just spend that money, take it out of savings. However, if you know that you're saving for something specific, something that truly excites you, or if the specific goal doesn't excite you, the outcome of that goal excites you, you're a lot less likely to spend that money when you shouldn't. So, for example, let's say you have a specific savings goal of taking a dream trip to Jamaica. If you have a savings account that is dedicated solely to this trip to Jamaica, you probably won't pull money from that account to spend it on anything that is not that trip. And that's exactly my point. When you save for things that excite you, you're more encouraged and motivated to actually reach those savings goals. Now, before you can give yourself the opportunity to enjoy saving for your money goals, you actually have to set goals that mean something to you. Okay, so when you start thinking about the goals that you want to save for, you want to make sure that there's a big why behind them. You want to make sure that they mean something to you, not society, not your family, not your partner, something to you. Trust me on this. And when you set your goals up this way, it's so much more fun to put money away every month for your dream vacation or for whatever the goal is that excites you than it is to put money away for no reason at all. So, as I said before, saving money just to save is better than not saving at all. However, if you're trying to take your saving strategy up a notch, you actually want to save for things that excite you. So start by getting goals in place that excite you, that inspire you, and motivate you to want to achieve them. And once you've identified those goals that excite you, make sure you plant reminders around what you're saving for. So some things you can do are name the savings account to match the actual goal. You can make your iPhone or cell phone screen or your computer screensaver pictures of your goals. You can have random reminders going out throughout the day to remind you what you're saving for. Not only will this keep you organized because you'll know exactly what you're saving for, but it will keep you motivated to keep going. For me, when I started saving for my Palm Springs home, I was able to update the account name to reflect saving for Palm Springs or Palm Springs home. And the platform that I'm using to save for that specific goal allowed me to upload a picture. So I uploaded a picture of the sunset setting over Palm Springs. So every time I logged into that account, I saw that picture, I saw the name of that specific goal. And I'm telling you, that's such a great feeling, regardless of how far away the goal may be from achieving. Just knowing that every time I look at it, it's a reminder that I'm saving for it makes a big difference. It feels really good to know that each deposit I put into that account is getting me closer to that goal. Okay, so the next way to take your saving strategy up a notch is to make sure you're saving in the right account. So, if you're not familiar with all of the different types of banking, investment, savings, checking accounts, this is a great time to educate yourself because just putting money in a regular savings account, while at least again, you're saving and you have a place for those savings goals to be worked towards, you could be missing out on opportunities to get the most bang for your buck. So if you struggle with knowing which accounts are right for your specific savings goals, I want you to check out episode number 76, breaking down my savings accounts and strategies. I give a lot of examples of the types of accounts that I use for specific savings and the reason behind those accounts. And it'll just give you a better idea of the different options you have. So I'll be sure to link to that in the show notes. But depending on what it is that you're actually saving for, how long it will take you to reach that goal within that savings account, and if you want to easily access those funds before you reach the goal, the type of account that you can use to save for that goal can vary. So, for example, you could save in just a regular savings account. So if you have a checking account with Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you can have a savings account that's directly linked to it. You could save in a high yield savings account. So it won't necessarily be directly linked to your checking where you can instantly transfer back and forth, but you can still save in that type of account. Or you can save in an investment account. So I want to just spend a little time here to give you some insight into the differences between these accounts as you think about what you want to use for your savings goals. So since regular savings accounts don't come with great interest rates, so that savings account that is tied to Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, the major banks, even credit unions, the interest rates aren't that great. If you go look at your statement, you'll probably see something along the lines of 0.10% APY. That's not much. That is not much at all. So while there are some benefits to these accounts, and really I think the biggest benefit is you have instant access to your money because it's linked to your checking, I would recommend this type of account as like a last resort for your savings goals. Unless you really do need that money close by, close to your checking. So for example, if you are saving for like a mini emergency fund and you want that money, that savings directly linked to your checking in case you need cash quick, that's like the only exception. Otherwise, there's really not much benefit to having your money sitting in these types of accounts because you're not earning that much interest. On the flip side, however, high yield savings accounts are going to be the best option for getting the most bang for your buck in terms of interest rates. Interest rates on high yield savings accounts are significantly higher than regular savings accounts. And the account is not linked to your checking for instant access. So you can transfer to and from your checking. It just doesn't happen instantly. So it could take a couple of days. And these accounts don't have any fees or minimum balance requirements. So you can open up as many as you want to save for multiple goals. Ally, so Ally is a bank that offers high yield savings accounts. They have a feature called buckets where you can actually bucket out the money that's in your savings account. So if you are saving for multiple things, you can break that savings up. This type of account is actually one that I would recommend at the top of the list because if you ever did need that money, you have access to it. You're getting the most bang for your buck in terms of interest, and the money isn't just directly linked to your checking. So you actually have to go through a few steps to get to that money. Ideally, you wouldn't really touch it unless you had reached the goal. And the final type of account that I want to talk about that you can leverage for savings goals is an investment account. So this type of account is ideal if you won't need the money anytime soon and you want to capitalize on your returns while you save and invest for that goal. When you invest for the long term, that's really going to pay you the biggest returns over time. So if regular savings accounts have 0.01% or 0.1% interest, high yield savings accounts have 4% interest, the historical rate of return of investing in the stock market is going to be 8 to 10%. So those are really like the top gains, but that only works if you are investing for the long term. So if the goal that you're saving for is only a year away, investing may not be the best route to take because seeing those 8 to 10% returns usually takes a couple of years. However, if you have a long-term goal that you don't really foresee yourself reaching in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe 5 years, an investment account could be a great option. I actually do this with my Palm Springs home savings goal. So every month I have money going into that investment account and it's just growing over time so that I have the biggest return when I'm ready to essentially cash that out and purchase my Palm Springs home. Are you loving this episode so far? Well, the money and life level up conversations never end in the City Girl Savings community. Visit citygirlsavings.com for instant access to resources that help you budget, level up your money mindset, and so much more. And make sure you stay up to date with CGS by following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at City Girl Savings. The next way to take your saving strategy up a notch is to make sure you are monitoring your progress. So I know for me, one thing that always motivates me to keep working hard, to keep going, even when I'm not feeling the best, is seeing my progress and growth month over month. So for me, that looks like tracking my net worth. Tracking my net worth has been one of the best tools for keeping me focused on my money goals. Seeing that progress every month, so seeing my net worth increase month over month and knowing that I'm getting closer and closer to my goals is such an amazing, empowering feeling. So when it comes to monitoring your progress toward your goals, you can do this a variety of ways. You can track your account balances, you can track your goal amount, you can track your progress to the goal amount, or you can track your net worth, which will give you a high level view of your situation overall, including where you stand with your savings goals and account balances. So whatever data point you need to see to get yourself motivated and enjoy the process of working towards your goals, that's what you'll want to track. So really think about what would move the needle most for you. If that's just your balances, if that's just your specific savings goal balance, whatever that is, identify it and work to track it month over month. So at minimum, I want you to track some sort of progress, but again, whatever that looks like for you, every month as you're saving towards your goals. So again, if you're not sure what to track or none of those things really excite you or inspire you, I think at minimum, just tracking your savings account balance month over month is going to serve you well. It's a great starting point. Not only that, it will also help you see if you're on track to reaching your goal or if you need to step up your savings amounts. So if you set this specific savings goal and you have a deadline for reaching it, being able to see your growth month over month will let you know if you are on track or not. All right. The next way to take your saving strategy up a notch is to make sure you're rewarding yourself for wins. Okay. And now we don't have to do anything crazy here, but we do want to recognize our progress along the way, not only to kind of give ourselves a little boost of confidence, but also to recognize how far we've come as we are working towards the goals. Another way this strategy can help you is it's very powerful to reward yourself for wins as you're working towards your savings goals, especially if those specific goals aren't that fun or exciting, right? But they're necessary. So things like your emergency fund or paying off debt, that might not be the most exciting thing to save for. So rewarding yourself for progress made will keep you motivated to keep going. Those things, so like an emergency fund, paying off debt, may not do it for you, may not light the spark for you like saving for a new car or vacation would. I totally get it, but that shouldn't stop you from enjoying the journey. So as you get closer and closer to reaching your goal, as you reach milestones on the way to your goal, treat yourself to something nice. Even if it slightly changes your budget for the month, you do deserve it for a job well done. Now, like I said, you don't have to go crazy and spend all of your money and just totally throw your savings goals and efforts out the window. But if you have been putting off getting a wax or getting your hair done, getting your nails done, but you have reached a milestone, you're on track for your goal, consider for that specific month, just giving yourself a little something extra to reward yourself for your efforts. And I want you to know this. Obviously, reaching the goal is a huge reward, right? Like that's what we're working towards. We're working towards reaching the goal, but that doesn't have to be the only reward, right? Achieving your goal doesn't have to just be the reward. That's a great one. We'll take it. That's what we really want. But taking time to do something nice for yourself throughout the process, if you will, so that you recognize your own efforts is a very powerful thing. Okay, the final way to take your saving strategy up a notch is to make sure you're giving your savings goals all you've got. Okay, so if you commit to this goal, and I want to say this actually applies to life in general, but in terms of your savings goals, if you've set a goal, if you know exactly how much you want to achieve and when you want to achieve it, I want you to give it all you've got. Give yourself the best chance of reaching that goal. This is such an important thing to be mindful of, and I stress it to my clients all the time because when you are working towards a lot of things with your money, it can be so easy to want to do all the things all at once, want to reach all the goals all at once. And when you do that, or when you focus your efforts on too many goals at the same time, you spread your resources thin. So let's say you have 4 goals that you're working towards. You're likely giving 25% of your savings to each one. That means it's going to take you that much longer to reach all of them. So instead, focus on 1 to 2 money goals at a time. Now you're giving 100% to one goal or 50% to 2 goals, which is still better than spreading your resources way too thin. This gets you to the finish line a lot faster than if you were focusing on even more goals at the same time. So if you want to give your goals all you've got, really put the focus on 1 to 2 at a time so that you can reach those goals and then move on to the next one. And while you can always get out there and make more money to reach your goals faster, I still feel like the same theory applies. Just because you're making more money doesn't mean that you should still focus all your efforts on saving for a lot of goals at once, right? Use that extra money to reach 1 or 2 goals faster and then move on to the next. So take some time to think about your highest priority or deadline specific goals. Make it a point to work towards those ones first. Not to mention, the momentum you get from achieving goals keeps you wanting to reach more and more of them. So if you focus on 1 to 2 goals at a time and you reach them quickly, you're going to be more motivated to work towards the next goal. If you're not sure what to save for first, so if this episode inspired you and you really want to set some savings goals, but you have no idea what you should save for first, I would recommend setting a goal of saving for emergencies and saving for retirement. Both of these things will come in handy for your short-term future self and your long-term future self. Once you have those 2 things covered, then you can get creative with all of the other things that you want to save for. I hope the strategies I shared with you today get you excited about setting and working towards your savings goals. The more you reach your goals, the more you want to save for them. So keep setting those goals. Good luck to you. I know you got this. Thank you so much for letting me be the money coach in your ear today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the City Girl Savings Podcast and you feel empowered and motivated to take the next step in the journey to your dream life. Remember, if someone like me, a millennial who loves to travel, new experiences, and iced coffees can live a life they love on a budget, you can too.